Happy Monday, everybody. Happy December 1st. Can you believe it? Are we happy? Are we excited? Are we over it? Are we going to buy anything? Are we broke? Like, what are we doing? Me personally, I'm having a low key Christmas this year. You know what I mean? It's just, I'm not in the festive mood. Is anybody else in the festive mood? I don't have money to spend. I have no desire to travel during the Christmas holiday. I'm just not. Minnie and I are staying here in LA. That's it. I'm staying here. I'm not buying a Christmas ornament, although I might go ahead and buy myself a little fake tree because one of my friends came by the other day, one of Minnie's favorite people in the world, and she gave Minnie a little present, aka me, of Minnie's face in a Christmas ornament. So, of course, naturally, I have to display it. But of course, naturally, I would display it even without a tree. So maybe I actually don't need a tree. Maybe I just need to put it up somewhere. You know what? I'm just going to do that. And it's going to be my Christmas ornament that's 24/7, 365 days a year. So Minnie's face will also, well, she has a million faces. I have pictures of her all over the place. Anyways, so I got one gift. And then Minnie also got another gift from her, which is a dog treat advent calendar. See, dog parents, okay, especially single dog parents, you guys can relate to me so much right now. These are our children, our fur babies. This is it. I'm going to go ahead and get Minnie a couple toys. Maybe I might go to Petco. Oh, wait, no, I'm not going to Petco anymore, by the way. Petco's banned. They denied Minnie at the groomers because she has epilepsy, which, keep in mind, she has had epilepsy since I got her, and she has been there before to the groomers. But you know what? Minnie goes to daycare for training, socializations, because she's a terrier mix, aggressive little thing. But they also do grooming. And I started going there. It's a bit more expensive, but it is a lot better. And she's very comfortable with the people there. You know, she has also high anxiety. We got all the things over here in this household. And then she has me as a mom. So you could just imagine how chaotic it is. Well, the groomers at her daycare, I mean, top notch. She's walking out there like a designer dog. You know the ones? And she's walking out looking like, I'm like, this is not my shelter, baby. But now it's so cute. So I love her new little haircut. I don't even know where I was going with this story. Where was I going with this story? Anywho, well, that's where I'm going to spend my money this Christmas is on Minnie to go to the groomers and to do all that. Yeah, I don't even know. What's everyone doing? Are you guys treating yourselves? I think people should try to treat yourself if you can within your budget because times are hard. We need a little pick me up. Maybe I might go get myself some. Ooh, you know what I'm gonna do? This is how you know I'm such a California sober. I'm so California sober. I'm gonna go treat myself to a fine wine of. That was wrong. I meant fine line. I meant fine line of weed. I don't even know how cannabis strain. I don't even know. See, I'm a stizzy girl. Like I'm a stizzy girl through and through. And yeah, that's a little pricey still sometimes when you don't have a job like moi. I've just always loved stizzies. They do the job for me. And I'm not much of like the smoker cannabis person. Like I was the edible person, but now like edibles don't really do it for me anymore. And I feel like I was doing more edibles when I was working because I would just like eat them throughout the day. But now that I'm not, I can take my time to really just chill, have a smoke, and then go about my day. And maybe you all have your own fix. Like, for example, for me, like one of my favorite things to do is have a little smoke and then go on a long walk with Minnie. I clear my head, I put my headphones on, I'm listening to music, I'm listening to podcasts mostly actually, and I'm going for a long walk, and then an hour later, boom, we're back. So what's your guys' thing to wind down? Um, I don't know, maybe feel like I used to love reading a book. Like I wasn't always much of a big smoker, up until honestly the last 3 years. Honestly, since I moved to California, maybe a bit longer than 3 years. Since I moved to California, I stopped drinking. So I stopped drinking alcohol. I don't really drink anymore. And I used to be a very, very heavy drinker. And maybe you guys can relate to especially when I was living in Chicago, especially when I was in college. Oh my gosh. When I was in college, my liver, RIP, like my liver is gone. No, it's not a flex either, right? This is not good. I'm not saying this to be a flex. Don't get me wrong. I love a glass of wine now and then, especially because I'm really into my white wines right now. But I don't drink on my own anymore. Only like I don't intentionally drink on my own. I might have like a glass of wine after a long day, but that's really rare. Like I don't even have wine in my house right now, but I do smoke. I'm a California sober girl, and that's just what it is. So the one thing that I don't think is talked about a lot with cannabis is I first and foremost want to recognize that weed is not for everybody, just like alcohol isn't for everybody, just like smoking tobacco isn't for everybody. Well, it shouldn't be for everybody, but you get what I'm saying, right? Like, everybody has their thing. Everybody doesn't have their thing. People just might be sober, period. But for me, I feel like weed has a positive impact in me. I also have boundaries with it. Like, I could just go cold tomorrow if I wanted to. And I test myself purposely. Like, like, sometimes I'll go a couple weeks without it just to kind of reset my body. But I have boundaries. If you don't have boundaries and you feel like maybe you have an addictive behavior trait, personality, whatever it is, I would go with caution. And that's someone who's pro cannabis. Like, I'm very pro cannabis. I think it should be legalized in every single state, but I think people should intake it responsibly. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you, hun. That's okay. Don't give in to this peer pressure bullshit. So for me, it works. It keeps me level headed. It keeps me calm. It keeps me de-stressed. It like just works so perfectly. But I also know when to cut myself off each day. Like, I know that if I have another one of my pre-rolls, I'm going to be out for the count. I'm going to be sluggish tomorrow. I'm not going to do it. So I think there's this battle you have to do with alcohol, with any addiction. And I'll be honest, I wasn't going to talk about this at all, but I'm just staring at my pre-roll right now looking like that looks pretty good. And for those of you who are curious about my stizzy journey, I get all three. I'm a sativa, hybrid, and indica girl because I think that every single strain or kind or whatever serves each purpose for me. Sativa girl before 2 p.m., hybrid from 2 p.m. to about 7, and from 7, anything after 7, I'm an indica girl. Okay? And I'm not saying I smoke all the time during those times, but it's like if you catch me during those times and I'm feeling like I need a pick me up, if it's like 4:30, I know I'm gonna go pick up my hybrid. But don't get me wrong, desperate times call for desperate measures, so I'll smoke anything if there's only one left. No, okay, so that's just what I want to say. Another thing is, I'm now on Apple Podcasts, so please go check me out there. I'm also going to be streaming on Twitch. So let's talk about that. I have no idea how I ended up at Twitch. I'm 31 years old. I've never gamed in my life. I have no interest in gaming, blah, blah, blah. But one thing is I like that it's live stream. And I know I can do live stream on YouTube, but I want to practice my live stream skills. So in my head, I'm like, I made a Twitch account. I'm just going to go practice over there because nobody knows me. I have 0 followers. I mean, no one knows me here either, but you get what I'm saying. I got like 35 over here, but I got 0 over there. So I feel like in my head, no one's going to really see me on Twitch, but I want to learn how to share screen. I want to get that confidence to do the live stream. So I'm going to practice there. If you are listening to this and you are curious and want to help your girl out, come listen to me on Twitch. The A-Files podcast is all right there. Everything on every single platform is the A-Files podcast. Okay. Another thing is, oh my gosh, I'm really plugging this morning. Look at me go. Like, that's one thing. I got to do better at marketing because whatever. And so another thing I want to talk about is Spotify and actually Apple Podcasts, but I can now monetize on Spotify, which is amazing. So thank you so much for everybody that's listening to me. I mean, if I could do this full time and be a full independent news, political culture podcast, I would. I will be doing a little bit of a subscription service potentially next year for like $3.99 a month. I'm going between $2.99 and $3.99. Part of me says $3.99 because inflation and all that, but they will. I'm gonna also learn how to edit videos. So I want to learn how to edit videos. I want to learn how to edit graphics. So once I feel a bit more confident doing that, I'm gonna do a subscription service where it'll be more video content and longer form content, which I'm excited about. So, right. So there was this weird headline on Complex, as you can see. A French snail farm says thieves stole over 100,000 worth of escargot overnight. Something's going on in France when it comes to robberies and people stealing and all that stuff, because not only did they have the Louvre a couple months ago, but now people are stealing snails from French farms. We have a big problem on our hands. We got Trump in the White House. We got Agent Orange doing just horrific things. We got people stealing from the Louvre. We now have a French snail farm being robbed. So I don't know what they're going to do. There's no more escargot. Are the people going to be pissed? I'll never, but the thing is, I'm not going to judge France for this. Like, we're not shitting on you, France. Trust me, we have a lot of problems in the United States of America. It's just nice to take a little bit of a break from our BS to just focus on little other problematic things, like people stealing snails from a French farm. I feel like I need to keep the pulse on that one, just to keep the pulse, just because I'm really concerned about France and about America. I'm I'm concerned about the world. I'm concerned about it all. Okay, I just want to travel over to Italy. We're going to stay within Europe. And so over the weekend, Complex again, listen, Complex, you guys are killing it with the news. An unemployed son dressed as his dead mom to collect her pension in a Mrs. Doubtfire scam. Yes, you've heard that correct. So, Italian authorities said over the weekend that a 56-year-old man pretended to be his dead mother for 3 whole years so he could keep collecting her pension. After she died, he hid her mummified body in their home and dressed in wigs and makeup to impersonate her, even renewing her ID card. Police uncovered the scam after a government worker noticed his masculine features. The man allegedly collected around $61,000 a year before authorities found his mother. Yeah, that's some crazy. Listen, Italy, what is going on? Who in their right mind? What, the picture doesn't even look. Actually, I'm a liar. Look at that photo right there. I have to say, he kind of looks like her. This is the most this is very creative in my opinion. This really looks like her. Wow, he did a great job with that disguise, didn't he? Wow, I'm impressed. I don't think he should get jail time for this. Hear me out. Hear me out. This is wrong. What he did was wrong, and I don't condone the behavior. However, he is obviously going through troubled times. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are hurting. Inflation is up. Nobody, like in Italy, I'm sure the economy shit too. Oh my God, Italy, are you guys going through a recession? And we're coming back to the United States of America because it's a hot ass mess over here. And I can't go without talking about the US as much as I want to pivot and talk about Europe, talk about Asia, talk about other places. I always end up back in the US of A because 2 Texas men, these 2 right here, are charged with allegedly plotting to invade a Haitian island and enslave women and children. I'm going to repeat that one more time for the viewers. I'm going to repeat that one more time for the listeners who can't see their screen because you guys are working or you're driving or something like that. Focus on the road, focus at work because we don't need you to be unemployed. But 2 Texas men have been charged after allegedly plotting to invade a Haitian island and enslave women and children. So let's get into it. 2 Texas men have been indicted on federal charges after allegedly conspiring to invade an island off the coast of Haiti. The idea of this was the male residents were going to enslave the women and children for sexual exploitation. Prosecutors say the men planned to travel to the island by sailboat, arm themselves with weapons and ammunition, recruit homeless individuals from Washington, D.C. area, and conduct a plot to disguise a coup. One of the accused is a 20-year-old, by the way, Tanner Christopher Thomas. He joined the U.S. Air Force to acquire combat training in preparation. What? Both men also faced, here, you ready for this shit right here? Look. Both men also face production of child pornography charges. If convicted of the conspiracy, they could face life in prison. The pornography charges carry penalties of 15 to 30 years. They should get prison just for that alone, life. What the heck is this? This is disgusting. The fact that, white males, by the way, it's the usual suspects. The usual suspects are up to the bullshit again. The fact that these 2 men thought that they were the bee's knees, thought that they were so privileged that they could invade a Haitian island and enslave women and children. The police did them a favor. Because could you imagine being 2 white boys invading a Haitian island? just, just, this world is going crazy. This world is going crazy. Okay, just real quick for my California voters, there's somebody I want to put on your radar. Her name is Angelina Gonzalez Torres, and she is running against Democratic Rep Jimmy Gomez. And all of us know who Jimmy Gomez is. He loves him some AIPAC. He is an establishment Dem. He votes for the war on Gaza. He is just horrible. He just cares about his pockets. And so I'm just going to tell you, Angela Gonzalez Torres is running for Congress in the California 34th District. She is huge and rooted in economic justice. She is 100% rejects AIPAC money, as Jimmy Gomez took over $2 million. So he's already paid and bought out for her. She supports Medicare for all, expanded mental health care fully funded by community clinics, and a Green New Deal that creates union green jobs while investing directly in local neighborhoods. Her family 15 years ago was torn apart by the federal government that deported her father, who was an auto mechanic in Mexico, where he still remains today. Her mother was left to raise 4 daughters alone while working as a waitress and struggling to keep a roof over their heads. So a bit more about her history, a bit more about her family. Her whole family lived in shelters. And this is really telling. And one of her most vivid memories as a kid was doing her homework leaning over the hood of her car while the car was parked in a Denny's parking lot. And she continues to speak out and fight for humane immigration system. She supports a clear, attainable, and inclusive pathway to citizenship for all, including DACA and TPS holders and essential workers. And I think that's really important to point out, is an inclusive legal pathway to citizenship. That does not mean she wants people to cross over the border that are bad actors. Nobody does. But absolutely, there needs to be due process, 100%. But there needs to be a fair and inclusive pathway to citizenship, because our ancestors didn't get it. I don't care what anybody says. One thing I've been really thinking about is like the whole narrative from a white person saying, well, you're taking our jobs, DEI. Honey, 50 years ago, we were still enslaved. So the fact that in the last 40 years, we were able to establish more, the POC communities were able to elevate themselves and the white communities weren't, when y'all had 400 years prior, that to me is not an excuse. It's just pure racism. So Angela Gonzalez Torres, we're paying attention. You're not in my district. She's in the California 34th District, which, let me just quickly look that up. That consists of, who the hell is it? Areas. Okay, so the key neighborhoods are Chinatown, DTLA, Eagle Rock, Highland Park, Koreatown, where I used to live, Westlake, Little Tokyo, all the main parts, y'all. So Jimmy Gonzalez, he has taken over $2 million, 2.1, I believe, from AIPAC. He doesn't give a damn. It's still a disaster there. Let's try and get some new blood. All right, well, this is an early one today. I don't know when this will go up. Depends on the freaking Wi-Fi. But please follow, like, subscribe. Definitely stay tuned for some live streams. Follow me on Twitch if you care. Want to see me just practice. All right. Thanks for listening. Bye.